Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Esea MDL Season 32, where tonight I have the pleasure of bringing you, of course, Demise coming up against Csgo, Poland versus Turkey on the newest iteration of Vertigo. An intriguing game to say the least, but I mean, I'm not sure which way it's going to go. When you take Vertigo, you take best of ones, anything can happen. I truly believe that it's a very unique and very unusual map, to say the least. I am, unfortunately, on my own for this one, so you're going to have to put up with my voice for the next hour and a half or something like that. But we do have 10 players in the server. We're just waiting for everyone to get ready. Volume's low. Well, I mean, I can stand this much closer to my mic, and then it'll be really loud. So I think we're going to stick with it, because when I actually talk directly at the mic when I'm casting, it'll be better. We do have 5 Csgo players in. We have 5 Demise players as well. So everything is ready to go. Of course, Demise struggling with the form recently. I mean, they have come so agonizingly close so many times to getting that first victory in MDL. Never quite been able to make it happen. Csgo, however, they've got 2 victories and a loss. Of course, that only loss coming to the major finalists in a Vanguard, so you really can't complain about that if you're Csgo. They put on one hell of a fight, and it was a 16-14 against a Vanguard as well, so it's understandable that a game of that caliber is going to go to that kind of a result. I think for Demise, it's important to try and find a win here. I think they really need to start finding some success. They look good as a roster. They look very skilled individually. They play well as a team. They play as a unit, but they need to start finding some success on a more serious level. They need to start finding some MDL success, start growing as a team a little bit, and really start to push on, try and get your spot in that playoff bracket for MDL. You know, there's Pro League qualification up for grabs, and of course, ESEA MDL, the only way you are going to get yourselves into Pro League. So, a lot on the line in these sort of games, as we are still just waiting ever so patiently for everybody to get in the server so we can get started with things. For the people in the chat who want me to speak in Turkish, unfortunately, that's not a language I am fluent in, so I think we're going to stick with the English casts for tonight. We do have the knife round just going on in the background, so I'm going to throw you over to this one. Of course, sides on MDL, on Vertigo, can be somewhat important, but I think it really is just luck of the draw, as everybody trying to get the better of the situation, but of course, very difficult to predict the knife rounds. Demise doing a decent initial job, but then getting slaughtered in the mid-round as Lemon just going to clean things up. NMHL, the last one alive. So Csgo, they will get to pick the side to start on. It's best of one, so I don't like to read too much into how important that is, but I think it still could be a big issue. The game going to restart, and it will be XCOM actually opting to start over on the T side of things. It's been interesting. I've watched a bit of this map recently. I think it's starting to become more balanced towards that CT side. It did used to be awfully T-sided with the 5-on-5 afterplants on the A-bomb site, but now it's started to stabilize. I like where it's going now. Casted a little bit, of course, in the European Champions Cup, and now we are here in MDL. Plenty of utility picked up by Furlan and Sydney, respectively, and it looks like an aggressive play by the CT side, dropping down the ramp very early on. Demise looking to take the fight to this T side. A lovely one-tap from Paz, and Beaz grabs a second out of nowhere. They're starting to run out of options here. Csgo 5-on-3. Flash is coming over the top as well for the CT side, as Imor is desperate to get himself a frag. Not quite able to connect on that occasion. But this is a perfect start to things from Demise. 5-on-3, the aggression looking perfectly planned, but Imor now starting to struggle a little bit. The CT side trying to swarm in support. Furlan, though, with a lovely headshot, traded almost instantly. Finally, Imor is able to connect, and into the 4-on-2 we go, with Furlan and Sydney both tagged up significantly. The Molotov, at the very least, going to enable Sydney to grab his first of the round. This is not looking good. Engine grabs one, and the last man alive on low HP is going to be an easy cleanup as well. Engine grabs himself the second, and I mean, that's a good start. I like the way they played that early round Csgo. I like the fact that they opted to get aggressive and try and be proactive on their pushes. It works out well, and now they've got themselves that 1-0 lead. They will be able to buy into the second round, and of course, with the investment coming in from XCOM Csgo, they're not going to have much to buy into this one. They're going to be dropping down onto those P250s, CZ75s where possible. Don't really have the money to back it up, and didn't get the bomb down in the previous, of course, so very difficult to get a buy into this one. Groovy just going for that early peek, going to take a tick and nade damage, but just getting that early information of the MP9 of Mini getting aggressive is always useful. Rest of his team, of course, starting to head in towards that A-bomb site. Imor with this peek, could get a lot of information. Spots out a lot of players, but takes a lot of damage through the wall in response. Brought down to just 2 HP by the spamming pistols. But he's got the information for his team. That's the important thing. He's got that bomb spotted out on the back of Furlan. And AGO, they have to commit to this one now. They have no options but to push on in and try and find some damage. Bear's going to capitalize on his teammates' tags to find the early frag. And now it's a clean-up job. Demise managing to do it in style as well. All 5 players kept alive despite just 2 HP remaining on Immor. That was really a little bit lucky for him, but it will mean that AGO going into round number 3, they're going to get their first buy of the half on the board. It's going to be a Krieg and 4 AK-47s over on that T side. Plenty of utility to back it up as well. There's so much potential for this round to go well for XCOM, as we do see Demise going for somewhat of a half buy, just looking for the bonus round with the SMGs. Paz on the lonely M4 gets a beautiful peek through the sandbags. That little corner angle being abused senseless so far on Vertigo, and it really has become a bit of a meta play as the SMGs look to be proactive. What a play from Beyaz and Immor. Immor a little bit unfortunate there, only to be given the assists, but it will be. Oh, Immor through the smoke as well to find Groovy. That is an absolutely insane connection as Furlan, the last man alive on a 1 versus 5. Really very little he can do here with that bomb drop all the way back in spawn. He's trying to make his way out of mid here, at the least do some damage to the Demise boys, but such good use of the utility. Furlan able to get 1, but he's been brought down to 26 HP. Trying to contest onto Paz, but the utility from this CT side is so good as Furlan. I mean, there's nothing more he can hope to find in this round. A frag would be good at the very least, but he's being flanked. He's being covered from all sides here. The headshot finally going to come in for Beyaz as through the wall he cleans up house. And it's going to be 3-0. That first rifle round dispatched off by the CT side of Demise. And you could not ask for a better start in this best of 1. You want to get off that ball, get the ball rolling early on is the words I'm looking for. They're not quite coming out in the right order, but we'll see if we can correct that as we get further into this game. 3-0 the scoreline. Deagles across the board for AGO to try and get some damage done, but it's such a strong buy. I love that jump from Groovy to give himself a little bit of an unusual angle, and he's going to benefit as well. Mini able to trade him out at the very least, and that M4 should be recoverable as Paz on the off angle with the M4. Going to get 1 on the spray down, brought down to 14 HP in the process. 4 on 3 now with Paz on 14 HP. This is starting to look good for XCOM, just using their movement to find that opening pick in Groovy. It can go very wrong. You can fall off the map, but if you're going to try and make it work, why not on these sort of Deagle half buys? Catch Demise napping a little bit on that B bomb site as they send Furlan up on a scouting mission. He will be able to recover himself an MP9, but I don't think that's all he wants here. Starting to push in towards the site. That bomb still all the way down in spawn as Beyaz and Sydney going for a headshot duel here. 1-on-1. Beyaz is going to win it. And now 4 on 2. MHL and Furlan really just need to find some damage here. These half buys have to get you more frags than this. Mini hiding efficiently behind the generators, but Furlan's got him. And now it starts to get a little bit awkward as MHL hits a beautiful 1 dig to bring it back into that 2 on 2. And with Paz on just 14 HP, the bomb being back in spawn is a massive issue at this point for AGO, as they are going to send MHL on the Deagle back in recovery. But for Furlan, a huge opportunity here. MP9, a low HP player as well, and he's managed to recover himself the M4, spotted out, but not taken down. Furlan just has to buy time for his teammate as MHL looks to recover this bomb. Gonna sneak his way through, still being very cautious. I don't think Furlan has given the information, and a lovely headshot from Beyaz. 1-on-1. MHL on the Deagle, Beyaz on the AK-47, and it looks like Beyaz just misreading the situation as he makes his way in towards the A bomb site. It's gonna be a free plant at the moment for MHL. He's going to be able to get this bomb down, get into the after plant, and potentially nab himself a rifle as well. What an opportunity for the Turkish player. He's going to push up, not the Turkish player, AGO in fact. Polish player, there we go. MHL pushing up, very aggressive on the left-hand side. Can Beyaz connect with the headshot here? Needs to time this well, needs to clear all his angles. He's looking the wrong way, and MHL on low HP will grab XCOM AGO, their first round over on the T side of Vertigo. That was very unfortunate. Demise, if Beyaz just clears the right way, it's going to be very easy for him to clean up house there. There was not a lot of health left over on that T side whatsoever, but not quite able to capitalize the Demise boys. They will be able to get the buy. They will even bring the AWP out moving into this round as they look to really assert their dominance on this game. Paz behind those sandbags again. The Molotov missing its mark as MHL looks to go for the wallbang, but Paz has got the better of him. Ducking down now to try and buy himself as much time as possible. Teammates getting aggressive, but the frags being traded efficiently for the time being. As AGO managed to get themselves the 3-on-3. Mini spotting one out. Doesn't need to be aggressive here. Can just rely on his teammates as Immor finds a lovely next pick onto Furlan. Leaving Sydney completely alone behind the forklift here. Really with it all to do. Trying to use that utility. Isolate these 1v1s. It is a 3-on-2, but with Groovy down to half HP, it's all on Sydney here to make the play, and he's trying to be aggressive. Round through his own smoke as he looks to push up through the A ramp, and I don't think Paz quite knows what's going on here. Trading guns out in the open. He's very, very fortunate that the timing works out well for him there. This nade should give away the plans of AGO somewhat as it drops in towards that A bomb site. Here we go, 3-on-2. Sydney and Groovy to try and make their way in towards this site. Throwing flashes, throwing utility still. Immor lurks towards the a B bomb site. In fact, it's Mini over there for the time being. That's not good at all. Paz on low HP is trying to anchor it down from the boost spot, and he might get the pick here. Lovely shot. Traded instantly by Groovy. Half HP, 1 versus 2. We've seen AGO pull these kind of clutches out before, but the peak just not beneficial for the XCOM man as he's taken down, and Mini finally gets a frag on the board. 4-1 the scoreline. And for Demise, I mean, a fantastic start here on Vertigo. You cannot argue. They have pushed well. They've really looked to make it happen, and they've done a good job. They're 4-1 up. They're going to be able to get a very strong buy into this one, as again, we're going to see AGO dropping down onto those Deagles. A couple of CZs in the mix as well. And a little bit of utility. They're trying to learn their lessons. They're trying to clear out the angles towards the A ramp. Paz, interestingly, has stuck with the CZ75. Clearly hoping to recover a fallen teammate's rifle, perhaps, and just save himself some cash as he goes for the early peek. Finds a good couple of dinks, but now the wood assault begins. And, oh, look at the position from Engine here. He's hiding behind those sandbags. He has not peeked whatsoever. He's just waiting for the timing, and there we go. He gets one. He looks for more. He gets the second. Engine looking to turn this spot into a slaughterhouse. Got the third. Now Paz chimes in, and it's a quad kill for Engine from behind those sandbags. He knows it's the eco. He knows XCOM AGO can't afford the utility to clear him out, and he capitalizes brutally. You cannot argue with that, ladies and gentlemen. What a play from Engine. Just making the best of his predicament, making the best of his situation. And you really couldn't ask any more from your teammate there, as it will be 5-1. The buy once again. This time, MHL opting to grab himself that AWP. But again, Demise very aggressive. Paz and Bay has a frag apiece. And Paz once more. He's looking for the triple as well. The trade's just not enough for AGO. As Furlan, the last man alive, should be able to spot out Engine here. That headshot angle is not good for him at all in towards mid. But Furlan isn't clearing it for the time being, so that's going to be a freebie. And indeed, Engine just going to clean up house here. 6-1 the scoreline. And at the moment, Demise on the CT side are making light work of this offensive coming in from XCOM AGO, excuse me. And indeed, we do see XCOM calling that timeout. I mean, you're 6-1 down. You have timeouts to burn. Why wouldn't you try and push on through this one? Why wouldn't you try and make this happen? XCOM going to be taking the pause, trying to collect their thoughts, trying to work out where to go in this situation, because at the moment, everything they try is being dismantled brutally by the Demise boys, who are currently 6-1 up. They've got a very strong buy. Again, this time Paz actually bothering to upgrade onto the M4A4, so understandable, as again AGO, they haven't got the cash. They're going to be dropping down onto those Deagles, the P250 for Furlan, and this is just a damage round. They've done a decent job of keeping Demise's economy in check so far, but really need to see some improvement from them here. Really need to see them starting to stretch the rifles of the CT side if they want a chance. They're going to head aggressively towards the B bomb site, but Engine counter aggression, lovely shot on the Deagle from MHL before he's taken down by that AWPer. And this is really nice from Demise. They've just rotated plenty of CT presence in towards that B bomb site. They've read the presence from XCOM. They've read the play that's going to come out from AGO, and it's just making it happen. 4-on-3 now. Deagles remaining across that AGO roster as Lemon, Groovy, and Sydney try and make something of the round, but it's such a strong position for yourselves to find yourselves in on the CT side as Sydney goes for the peak, brought down to 76. 4-on-3, and Paz really no need to take that fight, can just fall back. They still have the man advantage, and he's going to move back into the more passive angle. No need to contest the Deagles in this situation. Wait for XCOM AGO to come to you, and indeed Bayaz just does that. Beautiful headshot onto Sydney, but it's just simple Counter-Strike at this point. He falls back, picks his headshot angle and makes it happen. All the while, Groovy has managed to recover an AK-47 in towards this B-bomb site, trying to make something of this round at the very least here, XCOM. They've got one frag. They could do with at least one or two more, as Groovy actually might go for the boost here. Just spotting out the first player might give this plan away, but the low HP Paz is going to go down. The AWP reaction times not quite there, as Imor and Mini may well walk into the crosshairs here, almost lining up as Lemon gets 1-for-1 traded, and it's on to Groovy. Now a 1 versus 2. This is more like it from the XCOM AGO boys. They needed to find damage in this round, and they're doing a great job of just that, as Mini gives away his position with the utility. Only one angle to cover now, but the timing not quite good as Groovy gets the frag. It's all onto Bayaz, 1-on-1. He just needs to play this efficiently. He's got time on his side as Groovy walks right into the crosshairs. He will clean up. It's expensive against the Deagles of AGO, but they get the round here. The CT side as Demise, they take their lead to 7. You would not have expected this start to the proceedings, would you, ladies and gentlemen? 7-1 in favour of Demise at the moment. They are really making a run of things over on the CT side, as AGO, again, they managed to get the buyout. They managed to get the AWP, M4s, AK-47s, a Krieg onto Lemon as well to try and find some damage, as a lot of early utility traded in towards that A-bomb site, trying to stop the fast play coming out from XCOM AGO as the AWP of Imor gets aggressive towards B. And again, Demise just reading the play so beautifully. They expect that AGO are going to be aggressive towards the A-bomb site. They send Imor scouting down the ramp. He gets a lovely opening pick, going to be brought down to 54 HP, but he's found the leg onto Furlan as well. You cannot ask more from your AWP in these situations, as Engine up on the boost is getting all the information towards A as well. And I'm having a cough because my throat is not good, ladies and gents. And it looks like XCOM AGO, again, they're heading towards that A-bomb site. They clearly are more comfortable on it, but at the moment, Demise have a read on everything they are trying to achieve. Lovely flashbang from AGO, but it's not going to clear anyone out as Demise. They're 5v4. They got a tag onto Furlan as well. They can just play passively, wait for the timing, wait for the moment. And that boost from Engine could really start to pay dividends here if he gets the spot. Imor deep as well. That's a boost. Not quite going to work out. Lovely Molotov from the T side to keep them at bay a little while longer. Demise, but Paz on this backstab has such a huge opportunity. MHL out in the open. That's an easy frag. Low HP Furlan is found as well. And Bayaz just starts to clean up as well, as Lemon left 1-on-4, 1-on-3 as he finds the headshot. Takes down Imor at the very least, but we need to see more from AGO. We need to see more from Lemon. He's left 1-on-3. He's got to clear the flank as well, with Paz coming in for the backstab. This is such an awkward position for him to find himself in, suspended between 3 players, and he is going to be found indeed as Paz takes him out and gets the 8th round on the board for Demise. 8-1 on the CT side of Vertigo. You wouldn't expect it, let's put it that way. Demise really showing up in a big way here. You cannot argue with the statistics. They are looking to really pile the pressure on their opponents in XCOM AGO here. And they are doing it, to say the least. Here we go. 8-1. The pause again called by AGO. They really haven't been getting the bomb down very often whatsoever, and they won't be able to get the buy. Too strong. They will have some utility to back up these rifles at the very least. Four AKs and a Krieg. No AWP. Limited utility on Sydney, Furlan, and MHL as Imor tries to get aggressive. Spotted out though, brought down to half HP. And that's going to start to bait some of that CT utility out as well, as Bayaz has to cover his AWP's retreat. No aggressions on this occasion, as Paz just starting to think about pushing in towards middle. He's not going to spot anything out though, just falling back. And AGO very spread for the time being, again putting a lot of early round presence towards that A-bomb site, trying to get some information. But Imor, he can just hold passively. He's got the AWP, he has cover for the boost spot. That gap in the wood, of course, can be very difficult to clear with an AWP, but he has cover there, he has support, that's the important thing. Lovely nade as well. MHL and Lemon feeling the effects of that one. As again, AGO heading towards this A-bomb site. Immor out in the open for the time being, just looking to relocate the AWP, and he might have got a little bit of a timing against him here, but AGO not looking to press the issue too urgently. They're just slowing things down, looking to perhaps bait the CTs into a false sense of security as through the wall, Sydney trying to find any kind of damage he can, and somehow passes on 5 HP before he really knows what's hit him. Engine on the back flank is going to be spotted out all too easily by Furlan to make it 5-on-4 as XCOM. They're fairly committed to this A-bomb site here. Kruby trying to get the plant edge of the smoke. He should be able to get this angle down. The spam through from all sides, not quite going to connect. So Demise, for the first time in a long time, have a retake to contend with. And with Mini and Paz brought low, this could be very, very awkward. Edge of the box. Furlan is going to find Paz as well. 3-on-5 now. I think there's an opportunity here potentially for Demise just to save in this situation. And indeed, they are straight on out of there. Those 3 remaining players happy to concede a second round the way of XCOM AGO. In return for keeping 3 rifles up, keeping that economy building, get a buy into your next round here, Demise. You've got 8 rounds on the board. You're going to be leading at the half. That is the important information to take as you look to push on towards the death of the first half of Vertigo. Of course, the second round for AGO, they get something going at the very least, but I mean, if I'm Demise, I'm feeling very, very happy about how things have gone so far. 8-2 the scoreline. XCOM AGO finally able to get themselves that second round on the board. Can they push on from here as Demise? Those 3 saved rifles are really going to form the backbone of the buy into round number 11. AWP in the hands of Immor once again. 4 rifles, plenty of utility as AGO get what I would argue is their first real buy of the half into their hands. Bayaz again looking to be proactive. The CT Molotov going so deep is beautifully effective. Lemon up on the headshot angle, but Immor has read it. And Paz, as he gets Molotov out, is using his teammates' flashbangs, allowing Bayaz to get aggressive and grab himself the double kill. Single-handedly locking out that A-bomb site, and it looks to me like AGO are running out of ideas against this CT aggression. Furlan and Gruby are left in the 5-on-2 yet again as Paz, he's brought down to 4 HP, but he is not going to care about that whatsoever. Gruby's spotted out towards B. It's 5-on-2. Demise, they just choose to get aggressive. It looks like maps where CT aggression is meta are just playing into the hands of Demise absolutely perfectly. Engine with a nice little nade, not really going to get as much damage as it deserved onto Gruby, but it's still going to be a 5-on-2 for Furlan and Gruby to deal with on the AGO side of things. And such a strong situation for Demise to find themselves here as Bayaz not quite going to get wallbanged. You can see what Furlan's going for in that situation, but it's going to be very difficult for him to clear all of these angles to really push in and get any kind of effective fragging power. So instead he's going to head towards B, where Gruby has been hiding behind that box for a very long time. The Molotov to force him out, though, gives the information to Engine, calls that slight rotation in. You see Immor just starting to push around the situation, just starting to try and get into things. But for Gruby and Furlan, what do you do here? You've got 2 players of utility. You've got 2 rifles to make this happen. Gruby going to use all of his to try and lock out at least a couple of peaks from the Demise boys. Lovely timing from Mini. Actually going to mean the team Molotov blocks his own teammate off of the situation. Mini traded 1-for-1, but it's Gruby left in the 1 versus 4. And the backstab is so good again. Bayaz over on that flank is going to get Demise 1 round away from double digits. And 1 round away from what would be a stunning CT half here on Vertigo. You cannot argue with the situation. You cannot argue with the potential here from the Demise boys. They have looked so good so far in MDL. They look like they really deserved the opportunity, deserved the chance to show what they can do. And finally, perhaps we're starting to see some of that potential and promise come to fruition. A 9-2 lead. If they can keep this up going into their T side, which is traditionally their stronger side as well, it could be a great game for them. They could take down XCOM AGO, who've looked incredibly strong so far in MDL. This time, Immor a little bit isolated towards the A-bomb site, just forced to fall back by the AGO utility as they look to take a very slow progression towards the A-bomb site. Just looking to counter some of that crazy aggression we've seen from the CT side so far as Engine thinks about pop flashing himself in, going for that aggression towards mid, and Immor looking for peek as well. What a flick from Immor to take down the jump peeking Sydney. That is the start you want to Demise. A lovely opening pick again. XCOM AGO find themselves in the 5-on-4, and again Engine going to go for the boost up. This time it's going to work out. No Molotov for AGO to clear that one out, as Lemon at the very least is able to find one in response, and But his teammates are being traded across the map. Paz with a nade this time to take down Furlan, and Groovy and Lemon are left 4-on-2. Again, these two players, Groovy has been in so many clutches. It's such an awkward position for your teammates to put you in, as they've got to try and take this A-bomb site. They're using all of their utility to get in. There's going to be no escape here, as Groovy does get the bomb down, and Demise just start to think about pushing. It should be a relatively simple retake. Plenty of utility. Groovy looks to put a spanner in the works, trying to play round the edge of his own smoke, giving himself the angle, but Engine has got the config, has got the read, and Lemon can only find one in response before he's taken down. 3 players still kept alive over on the CT side of things for Demise. They will get themselves double digits. They will start to really push on and make it happen here. 10-2 the scoreline. And for XCOM AGO, I'd like to see them taking another timeout here. I'd like to see them trying to adjust, because at the moment, it's not working. There's no denying that fact, and they need to start finding some form of consistency. The Polish roster looked so good up until now, but they are being given a lesson in technique at the moment from the CT side of Demise. They get themselves the double digits first. They start to push the issue here, really, as they can really do whatever they want for the rest of this map. You can see AGO do not know where the aggressions are coming in. Mini trying to make his way down the ramp, has Immor to back him up on the secondary peak, and we'll find a couple of tags onto Groovy to open things up. AGO, though, they again are heading very aggressively towards this A-bomb site. The Molotov hatching and a force engine off the angle, but somehow he still wins the fight. He still tries to escape and manages it as well. He has backup. Furlan brought down low. Isn't quite going to be found by Bayas, who has to fall off the angle. The tags are good for the T side of AGO at the very least, but you can see the nades just starting to rain in from the CT side as Engine on 9 HP gets his second frag of the round into the 5-on-3 now as well. As the Molotovs go deep from the CT side, they know AGO are heading towards this A-bomb site as it stands, and Mini's trying to push on through. He's trying to cut off the rotation back towards B. Bomb goes down. Bayaz and Immor a frag apiece. An MHL. He's got an AK-47. He's got no utility. And he's found himself 1 versus 5 here, trying to cover any angles at all. But Bayaz is just there. He's got it covered. Of course he does. And Demise, they get themselves round number 11 as well. Oh my goodness gracious me, this is such a performance from the Turkish roster. This is so well orchestrated. They are looking hot on Vertigo so far. That is my hot take on the situation as it stands. Let's see what AGO can do to throw a spanner in the works. I'd say they have to win 4 before the half. They really have to try and push on here. I would like to see another timeout, but it doesn't look like they're going to be taking one whatsoever, as they just look to go fast in towards that B-bomb site, changing the pace up a little bit. Mini caught slightly off guard, looking to use some utility to buy himself some time at the very least. But AGO, they are swarming onto this site. All 5 players just looking to rush straight on through. Flashbangs galore go over the top, and finally some opening picks go AGO's way. They grab themselves 3 as Mini's only able to find the first, and Bayaz is being brought down low before he wins that Angel, but somehow Engine on the backstab able to find a good frag before he's caught with an 8 out and traded. It's all onto Bayaz, 15 HP. The Molotov's going to do some work for him, but it's going to be a very, very difficult task. And indeed, Lemon is up to the task of hitting that shot at the very least. Bayaz on low HP was well converted, and AGO, they get themselves a 3rd. They start to try and push on. But I mean, again, they need more than this. They need this 4th round. They need round number 4. They need to try and give themselves some kind of platform to build off of, but I mean, do you really see it happening here as Demise again get very aggressive? They're only going to find the 1-for-1 trade this time, as Engine out in the open is able to find the initial frag before he's taken down. So at the very least, they have found themselves the 1-for-1 trade. Those tend to favor T sides, especially on maps like these, but Mini with the airstrike to take down Lemon. That nade just raining in from above. And all of a sudden, again, AGO, they find themselves at this man disadvantage, trying to make a round work. They really have no business winning. Groovy, though, with a beautiful shot to take down one as Immor. It does get felled on that AWP. Of course, it's last round of the half here, so there's no harm in going for any kind of a retake, for going any kind of crazy push. And Bayaz has done just that, just on top of the forklift. Has the angle, has the shot. MHL goes down. And somehow Demise is just making everything work. Paz even chiming in with a frag onto Groovy towards middle. And it's Sydney once again trying to clutch something out for AGO. 1v3 this time. as he has utility, he has the creep to work with as well, but he's got to find some frags. He is on 1 kill to 13 deaths so far in this matchup, and I'd be very surprised if Demise give him any more here. He will get one at the very least, looking to bait Paz in, but he's traded out, so it's going to be a 2 to 13 frag to death ratio for Sydney and a 3 to 12 rounds ratio for XCOM AGO. I mean, what are you going to do here if you are XCOM? If they lose this pistol, the game is essentially over before it's even begun. And if they win the pistol, they still have so much to do. They have so many rounds they need to try and find. How do you win this? How do you build up that mental fortitude to push back in? If there is any team who have a chance at doing it, I will say that it is XCOM AGO. They are a team who have experienced plenty and really have a lot going for them, but it's going to take something truly huge here. They went 16-14 down against the major finalists of Vanguard. What can they bring against Demise? As Bayaz and Engine very heavy on the utility going into this pistol. Couple of flashbangs and a defuse kit for Furlan as AGO trying to replicate that aggression we saw from Demise, but of course the T side, they're privy to it. They know what's going on. They're going to fall back, wait for their timing, wait for the opportunity. They have the set play in terms of the nades picked up, and they can just look to play this round how they like. They have so many rounds to play with. The advantage of needing 4 to win it, of course, for Demise, as they do push into Forklift, take the early engagement. Not quite going to connect, but they still have that utility if they choose to use it. Engine throws some nades towards the B-bomb site, perhaps hoping that they've drawn the rotation away here. Demise, they're going to back things around and start to head towards mid and B respectively. Fast rotation called by AGO. They are looking to push right into things here, but Demise, they're already out on the site. What can Groovy get done? Lovely flashbang. He finds one before he's traded, but Mini grabbing another out in the middle of nowhere. It's all on Groovy. Somehow, Groovy gets the triple before he's taken down. He buys his team half a chance at the very least, but Lemon, again, is in a 1 versus 2. Somehow, Demise, they're coming out on top of absolutely everything here. Lemon with it all to do. He picks up the defuse kit. He has armor to back this one up, but Demise in such a strong position here. Flashbang on Imor. The decoy could even come into play on Engine at this point. The information given away. Imor just playing the angles, playing the time, and getting the headshot as well. 13 to 3 in favor of Demise, as they need just 3 more rounds to take the victory here on Vertigo and get that first win in ESEA MDL Season 32. That would be such a great thing for them. They have really struggled to get it. They've really struggled to push on through and find that early victory, but an opportunity here as the Force Spy, of course, is called by XCOM AGO. They do try and grab themselves whatever they can. Couple of MP9s, 3 pistols to work with, and they're going to get aggressive this time. Furlan out in the open, very proactive, but the MAC-10's actually not getting too much done. A 3-for-2 trade. It's down to an AK and a MAC-10 to try and recover this situation for Demise, and they have no idea the backstab is coming in, and indeed it's Mini. 1 on 3. Somehow this has backfired horrifically for Demise. Perhaps guilty of just overthinking things a little bit there. They look like they were trying to go for the boost to peek behind the box on Forklift. Doesn't work out at all, as Mini, with it all to do here, is 1 on 3. He's making his way in towards mid. He's trying to clear some of the angles at the very least. Try and find some pick. He needs an opener. He needs somebody to give him a way into this round. So many angles to clear as well for the Demise man. He's really got it all to do. Does have an AK-47, so at the very least there's something going his way. But what can you find in this situation? How can you push through having no information about the situation whatsoever? How can you find yourself a pick? 45 seconds left on the clock. Groovy a little bit isolated towards this B-bomb site. The support is largely towards A, and he's out in the open. Mini's going to get a freebie here. Go for the bomb plant. He has the after plant situation. 2 versus 1. A Molotov in the hand as well. This could be huge. It's all on Mini. He needs 2 frags to finish things off to get his team 2 rounds away from their first victory of ESEA MDL Season 32. Then he's got the opening pick. He spots the second player as well, I believe. He's not quite sure he's seen him, though. This is a huge opportunity. The MP9 comes through the door. MHL, he clutched it once before for XCOM AGO, and he's going to clutch it once again. He grabs his team a 4th round, and the Force Spy works out well for the Polish side. The Force Spy finally starts to work out. They finally grab themselves round number 4, but it is a long old way home for the CT side of XCOM AGO. They will, of course, be getting their bye into the next round. They will be getting plenty to work with as well as Demise just dropping down. They're going to pick up the Deagles. We saw XCOM really struggle to be effective with these, but let's see what they can do on this occasion for the Demise side. Just the one P250 for him, or as everybody else is on the Deagles. A couple of sets of armor as well as the CTs. They want to be aggressive, and you can understand it given the firepower. They want to get that MP9 up close and personal as the utility starts to come through for the CT side. The MP9 trying to push on in, and he will find the opening pick. Traded out at the very least by Bayaz. A nice shot on the Deagle to make it at least a little bit more difficult for the CT side before the AKs and indeed the AUGs really look to lock these pistols out of the round. Mini and Immortal somehow have grabbed themselves some mid-control. Not quite able to trade it, but Mini on the second time of asking will hit that shot and make it the 3-on-3 as well with Lemon, MHL, and Groovy. They do have all three rifles up and kicking, but AGO, this has become more expensive than they perhaps would have hoped, as they are brought back by the Demise pistols, who are getting a lot more done than we saw from the Polish side. They just look a little bit more well-tuned. They look a little bit more effective as well over on the T side of things here. Demise, they just look like they've got the measure of their opponents, as they are going to head again towards this A-bomb site. Lovely one-tap from Mini as well to make it a 2-on-2. Somehow these Deagles are making it so complicated for AGO, and AUG even recovered into Mini's hands, and they just have to clear MHL out of this situation, and he is in a lot of trouble. 1-on-2, lovely use of the flashbang as Demise trying to pick up whatever nades they can to make this situation winnable. Groovy has managed to rotate in the meanwhile, making Mini's job absolutely essential. Groovy out in the open, found on the 1-for-1 trade. It is MHL versus Mini 2K in the 1-on-1. Mini spotted out, edge of the smoke. The 5-7 comes out for MHL, and he finds the 5th round. Half HP. He makes it happen for XCOM AGO, but can we talk about the Deagles from Demise? Oh my goodness. They nearly made it happen with just Deagles and a P250. Such a strong round from the T side. They, of course, know they only need 3 more. And if they can keep that economy absolutely on the ropes, as they are doing so far, it's going to be such a difficult slog to get back into this one for AGO. Again, looking for that CT aggression early on, but Bayaz and Immor finding frags. MHL brought down to 8 HP. The CT's trying to replicate the success of Demise, but it is not working out at all. MHL out in the open is going to be the 3rd casualty of the round for AGO, as 5-on-2. It's Groovy and Sydney, an M4 and an MP9 to try and make this one happen. At the very least, Groovy has got himself the AK-47, trying to be proactive, trying to find a refrag, but he's taken down by Paz as well, and into the 1-on-5 we go. Sydney, what have you got for us today, mate? You are absolutely out on a limb, trying to make your way around, but the backstab is actually covered. Engine, not quite aware of the angle, will be taken down, but Mini almost instantaneously finds the trade. 14-5. 2 more rounds needed for Demise before they can call this a day and pack on up and get ready for next week. This is quite the performance. I am almost speechless at the performance coming out from Demise. 14-5, and now the economy starts to pay off. That pressure on AGO starts to pay off as they have to go for the force buy, and it's all on Furlan alone on this B-bomb site with a Deagle in hand to do so much work. He's wedged himself into the corner. He will find one. He looks for the second. He grabs it as well, looking for more. He's finally taken down, but there's good damage, and the fast flank could be so good. Groovy gets one more, a second for Sydney, and it's all on 2 engines. Somehow AGO are making this round work. 4-on-1, an engine. What do you do in this situation? You're in towards mid. You've got an AK-47 in hand, but oh my goodness. How has this round gone the way of the CT side? They had nothing to work with, but it's a fast rush coming through towards the A-bomb site. They just dropped down the ramp and went for it. There was no cover for Demise, who looked to set their own kind of pace in towards the B-bomb site. And it's just a little bit of a slaughter for both sides, and it pans out in favour of XCOM AGO, as we will see Engine saving himself that AK-47. Of course, from Demise's perspective on this one, you only need to get yourself 2 more rounds to take victory here. Why would you pressure this situation? It's a 1-on-4. You're probably not going to win it. You've already given 3 rifles up over on the CT side of things for XCOM AGO. Why not just back out of the situation, concede the 6th round, and give yourself an opportunity into round number 6 of the second half? And as we do watch the save coming in from Engine, I will just say a massive thank you to all of you wonderful people in the chat, and also all the followers I have been getting. It's been absolutely nutty. I don't often get a chance to say thanks, so a massive thank you. And of course, if you do enjoy the cast, my Twitter link pops up periodically in the chat. It's also down below. And you know where the follow button is. I'm sure you're fed up of streamers going full sellout on you. So as the clock ticks down, I will stop trying to sell my channel to you guys and get back to doing what I do and casting some CSGO. I'll look at Protalis even trying to drop the Twitter command, which doesn't work. Yeah, that command doesn't work, mate. It's broken. I have no idea why, dude. 14-6, the scoreline. Demise with a very strong full buy again. They're going to be able to get mostly rivals out. It's Engine opting to drop down onto the Deagle by the looks of things here. He should pick up the bomb, and indeed he will go back to grab it. There we go. Someone's linking my Twitter. Thank you very much, guys. Early damage onto Furlan is significant as well. He's brought down to 8 HP, and that could be so important in the grand scheme of things. Demise putting a lot of pressure in towards that A bomb site early on. We see the players backing out of the situation. It's a lovely boost. Immor, edge of the smoke, is going to find himself the opening pick. 5 on 4. Furlan's still up for the AGO boys as well, and he's only got 8 HP to boot. This is not a situation you want to find yourselves in. Again, AGO are just being schooled at the moment a little bit by the Demise boys. Sydney trying to be proactive. You can understand it. He wants to get the information in towards mid. Wants to try and push on through. Perhaps get a little bit of a flank going on. That can be so powerful on a map like Vertigo. Mini looking to line himself up a little bit of utility as he pot flashes. That's a really unique pot flash is the word I'm going to go for. But Sydney on the backstab will be able to grab himself at the very least one back onto the 4 on 4. And can these T-sided players for Demise make it in? They're throwing a lot of utility towards the B-bomb site. Plenty of smokes and flashes going over the top. They're not committing to things yet. As Groovy looks to lock it down, and he's got the angle as well. Not quite connecting with the headshots, though. The Molotov's going to keep him very busy indeed as the push looks to come through. Groovy, with it all to do, will find the initial headshot. The reload coming in, but Bayaz has got him through the edge of the smoke. Into the 2 on 3. The smoke is good for Sydney, and Lemon grabs another. Somehow XCOM AGO rescue the 5 on 3. And it's a 14th round the way of Demise. And somebody wanted to see the ADR, Mindhunter. There you go, my man. I mean, 109 and 116 for a Sydney and Groovy, respectively. That's not bad. That's nothing to be sniffed at. But 128 for Mini 2K. You can't argue with that. You cannot argue with that. The pause has been called. This time it's Demise. You can understand it. Perhaps a little bit of a fear of the choke coming in from the Turkish side. You can understand it given how their recent form has somewhat struggled in these situations to lock out and close out these important games. But still 7 more opportunities to secure themselves that map and series point as well. So plenty of time for them. They can afford to go for the eco here. Just try and make it as expensive as you can for AGO. Even dropping one of those rifles would be so good. And just build. You know, Bayaz is sat on 24 kills. Mini's on 87% headshot rate, and Immor somehow has 100% headshot, so I'm not even going to question that, but we'll just let it be as the Glocks do come out. It's the 1P250 for Mini to try and find some damage in this round. Of course, we all know the Eco's not the best rounds for the T side, especially when there's so much CT utility to burn as well. They can just look to sit back and mow you down from a distance, so there is an argument to be made for just getting this one over and done with. Furlan out in the open will find a couple of early kills on that MP9, going for the back flank, and for some reason we are stuck on the body of Bayaz for the time being as Lemon and MHL grab themselves a frag apiece, and Mini, last man alive with a P251 on 5. I mean, if you find a frag right now, that's good. Any more than that is quite frankly ridiculous, but can he get anything done? It is the eco, of course, so I'm going to forgive him and his team for not getting any frags just yet, and he's going to walk right into the crosshairs here. You can see him thinking about the shoulder peek, and actually hits a really nice dink through the wall, unfortunately for him, so only 10 HP of damage over onto the CT man, and it will be 14-8 in favour of Demise. They need 2 more rounds, but the buys are starting to get stronger over on the CT side of things. XCOM AGO are starting to make it happen. And they do call the timeout at 14-8 as well. They are not taking any risks whatsoever in this situation. They do not want to take a chance on this one, clearly. I mean, they are starting to build back into things. They're starting to find some consistency. If they can keep Demise at bay for a few more rounds, I think the nerves may well set in for the Turkish side. Root, I meant to ask, I'm guessing you're a Turkish caster, right, dude? I mean, you seem to speak pretty fluent Turkish in the chat, so I'm presuming you're a Turkish caster. As the timeout is over and done with, it will be the buy for Demise. It will be the Krieg on him or AKs across the rest of the board to try and find something. Can they find the picks? Can they make this round happen? They've been so good in the early rounds. They just need to learn how to shut out the late ones, as Engine going to be held off by the early CT utility. Held deep as CT's looking to get aggressive again. You can understand it. It's worked out well so far. The AWP a little bit isolated in Furlan, and there's plenty of support for these early peaks as the CT's trying to rain utility, and they're getting a lot of Molotov damage onto Beyaz, in fact, and this early utility actually working out beautifully for AGO. They're getting the advantage in this situation, but Furlan a little bit too keen. Lobs another nade down, but pays his life for it, and I don't think he'll think that trade is worth it whatsoever. Pop flash to come out for the Demise boys, and they've got the picks out in the open. Next man on the angle is MHL, and he will find one for free. Not yet traded. Into that 4-on-3 we go. And the push starts to come through. Engine a little bit isolated towards mid as Groovy takes him down. And this is where Demise start to look a little bit tentative, a little bit awkward perhaps. As they fall back, and they are going to try and take that control towards the B bomb site. But you can see XCOM AGO, they know what's going on. Oh, of course you did, man. Sorry, my bad, Root. My bad, dude. Concentrating on the casting. Brain is not activated this evening whatsoever. Long old day at work as it is this 3-on-3. And Demise, they're trying to take the B-bomb site control. They're very cautious about it, however, and you can see why. Groovy is set up in towards the generators. He's got MHL peeking the doorway, and Immor is looking for the backstab. That is the play that Demise are waiting on. They're waiting on this player, and indeed, Immor's going to find it. That bomb can actually just make its way back towards A now if it so decides, and Groovy is going to punish that. Gets the lonely player towards the B-bomb site. Into the 2-on-2 we go. Very limited utility for Demise at this point, but it's going to have to be the retake if XCOM AGO want to prevent this one from going to map and series point. Cheeky cough break. Pop flash over the top for Groovy as well to get that early peek on MHL. He needs to find some information here, but Demise, they're setting themselves up for the afterplant. They have a suspicion the utility is low on AGO, and indeed it is. MHL out in the open, and Immor just about able to rain that spray, and it is all onto Groovy. 1-on-2. He's got the smoke for the bomb. He's going to drop it early, try and bait some kind of peek out from the T side, but 2-on-1. They've got so many angles to cover. Groovy, half HP. He doesn't know where to look next. He's trying to clear everything all by himself. He's got to get on that bomb at some point. He's taken a tag as well. He finally looks to stick it. Demise, surely you have this spray lined up. Indeed you do. Immor just tapping away. And it's going to be map. It's going to be series point. Demise just one round away from getting their first victory of Esea MDL Season 32. I can't believe I'm saying that. They've looked so good. But finally, they may well be on the brink of getting that early victory. One more round, ladies and gents. Demise on a very strong buy. Actually opting to bring out a couple of Mac 10s as the cash not quite there, and the aggression comes in from the CTs. They take A-bomb site control with 3 players. Lovely Molotov, but the frag's going to go the way of AGO as MHL does manage to find himself that opening pick. And again, Demise looking a little bit stunted. Immor wants to find a refrag in this situation, but I think they'd be better just to bail from this plan. They just need to try something else here. They've lost A site control. It's going to be a very long way back to find it again. As they pick up the AK-47 off of the Fallen, at the very least, Engine manages to get himself a rifle upgrade. And indeed, Demise look to be changing the strategy here. They're still lurking a little bit, but they're starting to group towards this B-bomb site. I mean, at some point, you have to bail on plan A, and you have to make it back to that secondary plan. Furlan not up on the boost, but he's going to be tagged down. Engine's there to support the AWPer as well. He should be able to capitalize, and indeed he will. He finds himself that opening pick, and now things draw level again. This is where Demise have looked so good, finding proactive picks across the map and just rotating that aggression, making sure the CT side of XCOM AGO are never comfortable. They've left Mini towards B. He's going to cut out the flank, and indeed he might prove the crux of this aggression as Engine actually heads his way up the ladder in towards middle, bomb on his back. Demise is so spread across the map here. Immor with the AWP. A huge shot, but not quite able to connect as Lemon looks to get aggressive. And I think Demise, they're planning for this B hit. Immor taking a little chunk of nade damage down to 22. Can the CT side hold strong here for XCOM AGO? Demise, they are looking one-track-minded. 15 seconds left on the clock. The Molotovs to keep the CT side out of things. And the backstab is good. Engine gets himself the triple kill. And it is all onto MHL. He would need an absolute miracle here, as it looks like the bomb will indeed go down. Demise 4-on-1. 4 opportunities to find this round. The first, a gifted frag the way of MHL, but he's still got to find 3 more. Demise in such a good position here. MHL spamming through the smoke, trying to find anything he can, but nobody's going to give up their positions now for Demise. They still have utility to burn. 2 more flashes, and Paz has got them both in hand. Imor misses the initial shot, but they're baiting him in here, and MHL, he taps the bomb once, a full 10-second defuse. There's no defuse kit available, and Demise, they're just stacking up to have a go. It will be Paz, and it will be the first victory of Esea MDL Season 32, going the way of Demise. Congratulations, boys. I know there's a lot of Demise fans in the chat, so a massive congratulations to all of you as Demise do get their first victory of MDL Season 32. Of course, I have been Wolfie6678, and if you did enjoy the cast, as you all have been doing, I'm so grateful. Do feel free to follow the channel. Twitter is down below. Feel free to spam me away. It's always massively appreciated. Thank you so much, guys. I will be back. I'm back next Tuesday with more Demise. You guys currently have games scheduled for Tuesday and Thursday. As long as those don't get moved around, I'm grabbing both of them. So feel free to stick around, drop the follow. I will be back 2 days next week, hopefully getting Demise games. And I know you guys like to see them, so I will be back on Tuesday. I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. See you soon.